Ladies and gentlemen, ladies, welcome back to the Tatum Show. I'm about to get crazy, so I got to drink me some Synergy before we get started. Y'all stay tuned. The View somehow found a way to make the Knicks showing up to the White House in their victory celebration about race. A man took his daughter into the women's bathroom, and the craziest Karen that I ever seen in my life had a problem with it. Texas Rangers, that's why I'm from the great state of Texas. Keep that in your mind. Which one? And yeah, this one right here. Yeah. The great state of Texas. Never celebrate that pride crap. Metaf, Austin, they call it a bop dance. So the Negroids decided to make a TikTok challenge dance showing themselves getting stabbed in the chest like Austin Metcalf. You know how crazy that is? We're going to talk about it. I'm going to show you in a minute. Before we get to any of that, I am ready, and I've been waiting all day to slap the face of everybody that's being silly about Charlie Kirk's murder. And now we got new information about Lance Twiggs getting ready to testify with limited immunity. And every single person that I told you out here lying to you are going to be embarrassed, and you're going to realize you should have listened to B. Tatum the whole time. Welcome to the Officer Tatum Show.
I want everybody in this room to have that same spirit, that same identity carried in your life.
Make sure that you go through life and find your purpose.
And we don't do this just to get a pat on the back. We do it because we came here to win.
And it starts with you understanding that God has a purpose for you.
This is the time to be more bold than ever before.
We're all Americans at the end of the day, and we should love one another. We should be focused on what's right for our country. All right, ladies and gentlemen, and ladies, we welcome back. I was talking about Synergy at the beginning. Some of you guys probably don't know I own a company called Synergy. It's a natural energy drink. All of the best ingredients in it. I ain't gonna lie, I was on a plane and I was evaluating energy drinks in comparison to mine. Jocko Fuel was one of the energy drinks. And I have to go and look at the measurables, right? Because I saw the vitamin B12, the vitamin 6, and it seemed like we got way more in our product than even Jocko Fuel. But I got to go and verify that. Love Jocko. I love his stuff too, man. He's a great guy. But I just had to point that out. But anyway, SynergyLife.com, SynergyLife.com. Get a natural energy drink and also our sleep drink to have a cycle of good, clean energy. All right, shout out to the members. Thank you, guys. I love you guys. All the way from rookies to deputy chiefs. Here's the deputy chiefs here. And also, if you guys are looking for somewhere to go for Father's Day, I got the best place for you. This is one of the best restaurants in Arizona by far. Belmont Kitchen and Cocktails. They have a Michelin star chef, so they make some of the best food you're ever going to eat. And then yours truly, my verdict or my bourbon is there at Belmont, and we're going to have a Father's Day celebration. I'm going to be there on Sunday, June the 21st. We're going to have a verdict brown sugar old fashioned, and then we're going to have a cowboy ribeye. So come and celebrate with us on Father's Day. If you have nowhere else to go, you need to find yourself, especially if you live in Arizona, come to Belmont Kitchen and Cocktails. All right. I'm finna go hard here. I want you to put your seatbelt on. I want you to strap your kids in the car seat. I want you to tell your family you love them, because it's about to get crazy. I have been literally losing my mind over this topic. This Lance Twiggs nut job and the rest of them fools that orchestrated, were involved with, or had something to do with the knowledge of that devil that killed Charlie Kirk, I'm going to expose them. And let me say this very clearly, because there's people on the internet with prominent platforms they're lying to you. Some of them know they lying. Some of them stupid enough they don't know they lying, and some of them are lying and they stupid. They are tricking you. And when this trial hit, you're gonna realize who was real and who lied to you for clicks and fame and are just flat out wrong. I told you guys from the very beginning, there's so much evidence against Tyler Robinson. It is very clear he's the one that shot and killed Charlie Kirk. It is unfortunate. It's hard to believe. We don't want to accept it, because how does a person that adds zero value to the world take out a juggernaut like Charlie Kirk? I told you guys the affidavit, which is the arrest probable cause statement was so damning that there's no way possible on planet Earth there was somebody else that pulled the trigger and killed Charlie Kirk except Tyler Robinson. There's unequivocal evidence, but we're going to go through some of the trial updates, and then I'm going to go through why the theory of an exploding microphone lapel is the come on, say it with me, stupidest thing I ever heard in my life. And if you believe it, you're stupid. Let's get to the thing. Roll it.
Charlie Kirk's accused assassin, Tyler Robinson, his roommate, Tyler Robinson's roommate, Lance Twiggs, has been granted limited immunity to testify. But one of the things I think is kind of interesting about this story is apparently the prosecution doesn't want Lance Twiggs to testify in person. They just want this recording of an interview that police conducted or prosecutors conducted with Lance Twiggs. Why is that?
Yeah, again, no surprise here that they're granting him what we call use immunity, meaning essentially that whatever he told police during this interview, they're not going to use that directly against him. Doesn't mean that he can't face charges eventually, but just not based upon what he shared during that interview. It's unclear why it is that they don't want him to personally testify at the upcoming prelim, but they want to use his recorded interview at the prelim. But this is an indication that he will play a key role during the trial. We should expect that he will testify personally at trial. And we're now understanding from the limited information we have, we knew that he was aware of some of the plans, but it sounds like he may have had much more information shared with him by Tyler Robinson of what Tyler Robinson planned to do. And I expect him to be a key witness for the prosecution moving forward, which is why they want to be able to use him, and he would need a grant of immunity to do that, because otherwise we're going to be left with a situation where he simply says he's pleading the fifth, realizing that he might implicate himself, and so he wouldn't be useful at all.
All right, so let me interpret this for you. As a former police officer that testified in court and all of the above, I told you guys there's so much insurmountable evidence against Tyler Robinson that is mind-blowing. One of the evidentiary components is that he confessed to his roommate that he, in fact, was the one that killed Charlie Kirk. And the only reason you will give someone partial or limited immunity is because they know that what they tell you will send them to prison. So in order for them to tell you the truth and to talk to you about what's going on, is that they give you immunity to say, you're going to tell me everything you know, and you would normally go to prison for knowing what you're about to tell me or somewhat being involved in what you're about to tell me. But in order for me to get the statement from you, we'll give you immunity. So whatever you say in this interview, we're not going to rule it against you. I can almost put it on my life that it's such damning information that it's going to bust the case wide open. And well, for y'all, well, not y'all smart. I'm talking about somebody on somebody else's live. It's going to bust it wide open for you because you've been getting lied to this whole time. It is clear that Tyler Robinson did it. He told a little gay dude that he did it. He wrote him a note that he did it. And that's just what physical evidence they presented in the beginning. They have probably talked and mentioned this stuff. Twiggs have probably had pillow talk with this dude about this stuff 100 times. And he's probably going to sit on that stand, not in the preliminary, but when he's going to be able to get cross-examined, he's going to sit on the stand and he's going to divulge all that stuff that they had been talking about. I'm telling you, they wouldn't have Lance Twiggs involved in this if it wasn't damning information. But let me get to this other thing that was sparking me like a spark plug yesterday. I heard somebody talk about Charlie Kirk may have been killed with a lapel. You're either stupid, evil, or both. If you think, after watching Charlie Kirk's assassination, that a lapel mic killed him, let me show you what the lapel mic that Charlie Kirk had on his person was. We use the same stuff. It has a magnetic clip on the back. Charlie had it on his shirt. which was here or here. I can't remember if I'm in reverse. But he had it on his shirt right around here. Therefore, if it's on his shirt here and not clipped here, it's held together with a magnet. So that means there's no hard leverage it has. If you are stupid enough to think that this killed Charlie by doing this, it explodes, and the bullet comes around here, it goes right here. How could that be possible? What munition could have came out of this thing? You think it's a 223? Which is standard 223. Allegedly, it was a 30-06, which is massively bigger than this. But let's just say if y'all want to create a conspiracy theory outside of relevant facts and information, that it was a shot like this, which is a 5.56 223. This won't fit in this box here. It's too big. It's heavy. You think Charlie Kirk would have got a mic and been like, yeah, put a mic on me. And the magnet is going to hold it together with gunpowder and munition in it. You can't be that silly. And if the thing blew up, you will see a big hole in Charlie's shirt because of whatever explosive powder came out of it. You will see shrapnel hit Charlie in the face. And there's no way that some projectile that's flat on your chest like this is going to somehow travel out and around and hit you in the neck over here. Impossible. And then if you look at the video evidence, and I'm telling you, man, I hope some of y'all reap what you sow if you out here pushing this right here. And also, if this exploded from somebody's chest, everybody standing next to Charlie Kirk would have been like, everybody in the shooting turned and looked where they saw the shot fired. When that trial happens, every single one of y'all who was out here lying, you're going to be embarrassed and you're going to be shamed, and I'm not going to hold back. Because if you really care about Charlie and you claim you liked him and you claim you're a big Charlie fan or whatever you want to claim, then you would methodically take into consideration legitimate investigations, legitimate claims. And if you don't, you're going to have an egg on your face because I'm going to sit in the courtroom and I'm going to give y'all the information directly from the trial. And I promise you, some of the people that you've been listening to, you're going to realize were deceiving you either through ignorance or intentionally deceiving you. Because they rather make it sexy by saying it's all this conspiracy than to be honest about the fact that it was a nut job, trans, adjacent weirdo that was hypnotized with hatred and decided to kill Charlie Kirk. That's what it comes down to. And we should be praying that justice is served and that nut job gets the rest of his life in prison before he go to hell if he don't repent. That's all I'm saying. I'll debate anybody on this topic. Anywhere, anytime, any day. That kid killed Charlie Kirk. Now, if y'all want to say, is it something else, somebody put him up to it, come on, let's investigate it. But if you saying a helicopter came out and shot, a lapel mic blew up on his chest, Turning Point USA has something to do with this, you need to either go to a hospital or you need to come talk to B. Tatum. I got more to say, but I got to move on. All right, let's get to the next topic, which is crazy. I think this is, now Charlie's murder was crazy, but I think this was just as crazy as the mockery that we see from the nut jobs and the Charlie thing and we see in Austin Metcalf. Let me get to the super chat before we get there. We got a super chat from Dolores, and thank you so much for the super chat. The super chat says, you speak facts. I don't know what else to do, y'all. I don't have another bone in my body other than fact bone. All right, let's get to this next one. This is gonna blow your socks off. And black folks wonder why people don't like them. And I'm not talking about you and me. We good folk. We got comment. I'm talking about these nuts. Here, go on and put them on the screen. They done made a song, a TikTok challenge, mocking the death of Austin Metcalf. Imagine, ladies and gentlemen, if a white person was, they made a TikTok challenge mocking George Floyd or somebody. Roll the clip.
Austin Bob, knife had blood on the tip when he dropped. How the f you gonna stop me? He's going out back, Marlo out the box. That sound when he died. The floor, but I got side. Nigga, text my phone, talk about he don't like my stab behind knife. Austin Bob, knife had blood on the tip when he dropped. How the f you gonna stop me? He's going out back, Marlo out the box. That sound when he died. The floor, but I got side. Nigga, text my phone, talk about he don't like my he got stabbed behind knife. Once that shit was over, coughing and bloody, think he got Ebola. To the spittle.
Tell the Drake for like I can fly fast, get behind us and waving them back. How you leaving?
Austin Bob, knife had blood on the tip when he dropped. How the f you gonna stop me? He's going out back, Marlo out the box. That sound when he died. The f with his floor, but I got side. Nigga, text my phone, talk about he don't like my shit, got stabbed behind knife. Once that shit was over, coughing and bloody, think he got Ebola. To the spittle, he couldn't wake up. Austin Bob.
That girl, I don't know what that was. It looked like it was at a doctor's office. Are you at a doctor's office and doing that in the? Keep going.
Got Ebola. To the spittle, he couldn't wake up. Austin Bob, knife had blood on the tip when he dropped. How the f you gonna stop me? He's going out back, Marlo out the box. That sound when he died. The f with his floor, but I got side. Nigga, text my phone, talk about he don't like my got stabbed behind knife. Once that shit was over, coughing and bloody, think he got Ebola. Nigga, to the spittle, Austin Bob, knife had blood on the tip when he dropped. How the f you gonna stop me? He's going out back, Marlo out the box.
I can't watch no more of these ignorant folk. I want to play one more clip because I want their employers to get a good look at who on this thing doing this stupid dance. Well, matter of fact, none of them probably got a job. So let me not say that. Let's see the future jail that they're going to end up going to. I want them to know that this is what they're doing on their spare time. So when the judge catch them doing something and stabbing and thugging and doing it, I want y'all to see the little bop. They online being thugging. And then they going to get in there and say, my son didn't even do nothing. He was a good kid. He just was graduating with straight A's. Nah, this what they really doing online. Go and play it.
Austin Bob, knife had blood on the tip when he dropped. How the f you gonna stop me? He's going out back, Marlo out the box.
The dance is weak and stupid anyway. But this, I just wanted to put it out there. This is what they do. Look at the cover art. If they go and say, it wasn't about Austin Metcalf. This was just this is what they did. It's called Austin Bop. And they put his picture up there. And I'm hoping to God that Spotify took this down. Because they would not dare let you put a black person in and mock them like that. This is why people don't like y'all. This is why people don't want to live by y'all. And I'm not just saying white people, black people don't want to live by y'all. I don't want to live by these fools. Man, let me say this, and I know people going to get mad at me, and I got a lot of black celebrity friends, and I love y'all. If you're a good person, I love you. But, like, I'm black, and it made me not like black people. Yeah, like I can't find, everywhere I go, I don't want to be around too many black people. Everything, too many black people in one spot, it get crazy. Maybe there's one or two places on planet Earth that you could do this at, but most of the time, you go to a city with a whole bunch of black, it's always some drama going on. And y'all keep lying to yourself if you want. We had a super chat. I'm going to get 2 more super chats real quick. Thank y'all for super chatting. I really appreciate it. It really helps the channel, man. I remember back in the day, Nick, remember, we used to have 40, 50 super chats. But I appreciate y'all for super chatting anything. Anything is a blessing. All right, super chat from, what is that, Smitty? From Smitty, absolutely disgusting behavior, 1,000%. Super chat from Telly. BT, not only do you speak facts, but you always crack me up while doing it. Stay the course. God bless America. That's right. That's right. I think I actually need to do some stand-up comedy maybe one day. Anyway, let's get to the next story. I got 2 hats that we're going to make on Tatum's store. And mentioning Tatum's store, let me show you this merch real quick. Y'all need to go to Tatum's store to get this. I mean, so many people have bought this, it's like blowing my mind. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Check this shirt out. It says national champs. We get a little play on the national championship shirt. We got some other stuff like that. Our next bestseller is this one. Boom. America 250. We got some other stuff on there, but mentioning that, so go to tatumstore.com, and keep an eye out because we're gonna make 2 hats. And I forgot to tell my guy we need to make shirts to go with the hats. We're gonna make one from Romans 1:27. And if you're a Christian, you know what Romans 1:27 it is. If you don't know, if you're a Christian, go read it. Romans 1:27, and you'll know why I'm making it. And then we're gonna make one for the baseball players that wrote the scripture on the hat there. I think it's in Genesis. We're gonna make a hat that goes at that angle. Shout out to John Root. He came up with the idea. Me and him gonna partner on making a hat. So we're gonna make some merch related to give you something to wear to troll these people to finish out the month. So keep Tatum's store in your mind. All right, now let's get to this. Shout out to the Texas Rangers. That's why I love Texas. Everything's better in Texas except the weather and the humidity. And the black folks. No, I'm just playing. I'm kidding about the black folks. Y'all always getting mad. See, I already caught y'all. Y'all want to go and shoot me up because you mad because I said that. All right, anyway, let's talk about this because I think this is important to acknowledge. I thank God that you can see that there's a team in the MLB that's not capitulating and it's going to stand on principle. I do not understand how they are trying to force people to wear that gay stuff. It's wrong. Roll the clip.
Rangers are the only team in Major League Baseball that does not host a Pride Night. This week, they're hosting Faith and Family Night instead. And Florida's Attorney General, posting on X, MLB will be hearing from his office soon.
A Pride Night. Instead, tomorrow, they're holding a Faith and Family Night where players will speak openly about the role faith plays in their lives. Texas Governor Greg Abbott loved it, writing in Texas, quote, "We don't punish people for living out their faith. We protect that right." Joining me now, a man in the middle of this, usually talking, hits and misses, but Dan Dakich now talking about faith on hats. He's the host of Outkicks Don't At Me. Dan, where do you stand on this?
Well, where I stand is this is utterly ridiculous. Major League Baseball, Brian, has allowed players to put initials. They've allowed all kind of messages on hats. But for whatever the reason, on Pride Night, it's sacred, right? And good for the Texas Rangers. I mean, we don't need another Pride Night. Look, here's where I really stand on this. How about getting rid of all these silly nights and go back to 10-cent beer night? How about going back to bobblehead night? Bat night. Get rid of the nonsense. My guess is Major League Baseball makes some money off this. They go sell the Pride merch and all that. But truthfully, 99.9% of people that go to a baseball game don't care who's having sex with who. Not even a little bit. They just want to watch some baseball, enjoy it maybe with family, friends, drink some beers, and have a good time. That's where I stand on it. Get rid of this nonsense.
Right. Because what if someone wrote on their hat, Free Palestine? That's the problem that baseball's looking at.
Baseball, for whatever the reason, and I guess, San Francisco, but for whatever the reason, they've really embraced this. And, one of the things that's going to be interesting moving forward is what's baseball really going to do? If I was one of these pitchers, this is just me and the way I was raised, I would challenge them. They said, we're not going to allow it. There's going to be something involved. Really? What are you going to do? Because the truth of the matter, Brian, as you well know, talking about this, public sentiment is about 100% against what Major League Baseball did here. So if I were one of those players, I'd like to see, okay, baseball, what the hell are you actually going to do here?
Right. 1,000%. What are y'all going to do? Without the players, there's no game. You're going to find everybody. This is why I think the baseball players should stand together. Because if all of you guys stay on the same page, because you're all brothers in the game, all be on the same page and say, we're all not going to play. If you're going to make us do it, we're not going to play. Yeah, the league is going to be hurt more than the players. I'm telling you. They're going to get their money. What do you want to do as a franchise owner and the players say, look, we're not going to play? You're going to lose a lot of money in revenue. You need these players to play so your franchise can have equity and also so the fans can show up and participate. The players got the power. You can't just replace those players. The players can go play for another team. You can't replace the players. Stand up, y'all. Shout out to all the players that's standing up for what they believe and quit letting them make you wear that gay stuff. It should be a choice. If you want to celebrate, if you want to give a little love, I think you shouldn't do it at all. But if they want to do something, if you want to give a little love to the LGBTQ, you can wear the little gay hat and throw the pitch if you want to. But like everybody else shouldn't have to do that. And then you know what? When the white players want to go White Lives Matter, they should be able to wear a White Lives Matter hat. And then all the Christians should be able to wear a hat with a cross on it. If y'all really want to go down that path, y'all don't care about freedom. You only care about pushing an agenda with y'all sorry, ashy elbows. Now let's get to another team, a minor league team that did the right thing, and I support them, and I wish I was a trillionaire because then I'd pay all their salaries. Roll the clip.
News out of York. The York Revolution says that it is canceling tonight's Pride Night game, saying that players refused to wear the Pride Night jersey. The team says the game will be forfeited, but says it will still hold a free Pride Night event at Wellspan Park. The Revs say that if you did buy tickets for tonight's game, you can redeem them for any future game. The event that is still on for tonight will run from 5:30 to 9.
You know, I hope people start standing up against this. This is the kind of stuff they're trying to make them wear. Like, why? Why? How many gay people are there? Ain't a lot of gay people in comparison to regular people. So why are y'all going up and beyond, willing to lose your whole franchise just to push some gay stuff, man? I'm telling you what it is, y'all. It's the devil. The devil wants to market to your children. The devil wants to market homosexuality. The devil wants to normalize things that are counterproductive to the growth and success of society. The devil wants to market sexuality over personality. And I said this yesterday on my thing. I'm not going to keep going over, but I said it yesterday. This gay thing is a private, personal matter. It's not a public expression. Nobody cares who you sucking and doing stuff with at nighttime or at daytime. I don't know when y'all doing it. But nobody cares, brother. Nobody cares, brother. On my store, tatumstore.com, there's not a gay section. There's not a gay fabric, gay customer service, gay prices. That don't exist, bruh. Gay only exists when you're engaged in a sexual act with a same-sex person. But when you're walking around and you're just breathing in the air and stepping on grass and doing yoga or whatever you're doing, it ain't gay. They be making it like they body gay, like you got gay skin or something. Oh man, hey, what was his diagnosis? Oh man, he was gay. Sorry man, you got a case of gay. Somebody go get him some medicine because he's gay. Gay is a mental state. It's not a personality. It's not a person. It's not a what. So why y'all pushing this stuff? All right, because they want your kids to be gay. That's what they do. They want your kids to defy you and be gay and think everything you say is bad so they can control them. That's what they want to do. I don't know a gay person is walking around with gay on their forehead every day. All right. I was going to say something else, but I'm going to let it go. All right, let's get to another gay thing that happened just the other day. And that's this dude that is the biggest Karen on planet Earth calling the police about a man washing his girl's hands in the women's bathroom. Let me play this, and I'm going to do commentary right after this. Roll the clip.
I'm standing in the doorway of the ladies' bathroom.
Look at this.
Okay, my wife, there is a man with his two little girls using the women's bathroom.
Wash your hands, lady.
He is. He's washing his hands with his daughters right now. He is leaving it. And he was on oxygen.
It's okay. Some of them are just immature.
And he's refusing. He's taking his sweet time.
I have two girls washing their hands. I'm their dad.
You can ask her. I understand. And you don't have any business bringing them into the women's bathroom.
They're girls. They go to the women's bathroom.
As soon as he leaves the women's bathroom, I will. I'm standing in the doorway.
So you in the women's bathroom?
This is ridiculous, man.
I am so sorry. That's so bad.
Take it, right.
He's got a hat on, he's got a shirt that says Jesus Saved, he's got a cross on the front and a gray shirt. You can video me, okay? And you got a
Don't put your hands on me.
Yeah, well, stop videoing me.
Yeah, he just put his hands on me.
I touched
operator.
you. I brushed you on the shirt.
That's still touching.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. He's a white man. He's about 5'10". He's out now. He's standing
This
here.
guy making a
videoing
big
me.
deal about me taking my little girls
Justifying what he's
to
getting.
the women's restroom. Because he wants me to take them to the men's restroom.
I'm just standing here.
Probably a weirdo that wants to see them in there.
Now let me put this in perspective real quick, man. This is a either or thing. Y'all in the comment section, let me know what's right. My perspective is that the adult goes into the appropriate adult bathroom and you bring your kids in there and you secure them. In a situation where you're in a small bathroom, if you got to take your kids in there, lock the door. And therefore, it's just you and your kids, and you lock the door, and you take care of your business, and then you open the door to leave. You should do that in the women's or men's bathroom, depending on what you have to use. But I don't think it's that big of a deal, man. Unless a woman is in there, and you in there looking under the stalls and stuff at her. But if it's a woman in there, that's why men should go to the men's and bring your daughters in there. And the reason I say do that, now when your daughter's big enough, that's a different thing. But when they're little babies, in the men's bathroom, man ain't got his wang hanging out. They just stand against the stall. You can have your daughter close their eyes. Hey, come in here, close your eyes, take them to the stall, open it up, you in there with your babies, you make sure they good, close your eyes, you leave. But the weird thing is when men go in the women's thing, because you can really scare women by you being in there. And I think it's also considered like this. Because a man has a flexibility to be in men's or women's, right? Because that's a man. But just imagine a woman. Let me give you an example. A man says, my daughters should go in the girls' restroom, so he takes the daughters into the girls. But just say if a woman had a little boy, you know how crazy it'd be for a grown woman to take a little boy in the men's bathroom? You see what I'm saying? That get weird. So the adult needs to go in the appropriate adult bathroom and you take your kids in there. That's like when I take my son or whatever. It's like, man, I'm not, my wife takes him in the women's bathroom and then I take him in the men's. But anyway, you got to be the stupidest person on planet Earth. And that dude lost his job, didn't he? Let's play that little clip. Karen lost his job. He was working for Overstreet Properties as, I believe, a contractor. And people found out who he was because he's a dirtbag, and they fired him. Thank goodness. The guy goes out and gives a statement about his thought process. I don't need to play the whole clip. I can summarize what he said because he's kind of talking super slow. What he's saying is just simply that it's not black and white. People are confused about what you should do. At the end of the day, he's just a dad trying to take his daughters to use the restroom and wash their hands. He could be a creeper. He don't look like one. He didn't act like one. Maybe he was doing creepy stuff. But man, for you to call the police and do all that and have them cops pull up and do this because you being weird. And the crazy thing is that you're calling the police because he's in there and you're standing in there with him calling the police. You can't make this stuff up, bruh. So anyway, in the comment section, I don't know what you guys think about it. Put a 1 if you think a man should be able to take his kids in either bathroom, or do you think that a man should go into the appropriate adult bathroom? 1 being you can go into both, and 2 being the adult needs to go into the appropriate adult bathroom and just bring your kids with you. Y'all let me know what you think. I want to know who win in this one because we were talking about this yesterday, and I'm like, yeah, it sounds cool to be like, yeah, a man can take his daughters in, but like if my wife went in the men's bathroom to take my son in there, that's crazy, right? All right, let's get to, before we get to the View, losing their mind over the Knicks and making things about racism, I got 2 more super chats that I want to get to. Kim, thank you so much for the super chat. So much respect for you, Tatum. Keep your integrity. I appreciate it. It's the good thing is I don't know what else to do but do the right thing. Lazy LCH, thanks so much for the super chat. Protect Erica at all costs. Austin Metcalf's family too. None of them deserve this insanity. 100%. So I guess most people are commenting 1, which means that the parent can go into both bathrooms. I think if that's what it is. I mean, my thing is this: if it's crowded, I think you shouldn't. If there's nobody in there, you can go in there and lock the door. That's all. Tell the clerk, hey man, I need to take McDartis in his bathroom. Can you watch the door? Tell people that I'm in here. I'm gonna lock the door so there's no interference, there's no weirdness, and go from there. All right, ladies and gentlemen. This is the last topic. All right, we got to get to the grand finale. And that is the View have to make it about race every time they talk about something stupid. And I love watching them because they make me a lot of money. I'm not going to lie. The commentary that in the virality of how stupid they are has really contributed to some snacks that I bought the people the staff members this weekend. Anyway, let's get to this real quick because y'all know the Knicks won the basketball championship and they're being celebrated, and this is like the first time in 30 years and stuff like that, and they're going to go and they've been invited to the White House like every other champion group in sports. But this is what the View has to say because they can't keep their mouth closed and their wisdom to themselves, so they share it with the world. Roll the clip.
Recently, they were at the White House trashing Michelle Obama. I mean,
Time out. They. It was no they. There were 7 fighters on that card. One guy said one thing. There was black players on that card. Nobody had anything disrespectful to say about nobody except Hokic, and he was joking. I just want to cuss y'all out, but I can't. I'm trying to be a good Christian. The man was joking. Roll the clip.
UFC. Yeah. It's kind of.
Well, but you know what?
The indignity of these poor guys having to go down there.
But you know what?
But I have to say that I don't agree with the Republican position. I don't agree with Trump. I don't agree with J.D. Vance. I was nice to him. I respect the position. Yeah. I respect the office. And so I'm feeling 2 ways about it. Like, yes, maybe you have to respect the White House. You don't have to respect who's in the White House, though.
But I think there's a reason why every single, the previous 5 NBA champions crowned during the Trump administration refused to go. I think there's a reason for it, and that's because he politicizes the events that come before him. That's one of the problems. I don't think you can separate Trump.
No, you guys politicize the events that come before him. He's had men, women, all kind of sports, white, black, you name it, they all going to the White House. Y'all the only ones out here trying to make something about politics. The people that went didn't make it about politics. Y'all did. Let her finish.
From the White House, even though we would like to, because it is the people's house. He doesn't treat it like the people's house.
I want them to go.
Do you?
I want all those black men.
Hold on, time out. Let me translate for it just a little bit. I want all those black men that play for a white coach on a team owned by a white man. Don't leave that part out. Quit trying to act like the black men. I bet you $1 million if I look up the New York Knicks, that one of them probably did something. One of them got a DV, drunk driving or whatever. And y'all don't care that they have done anything untoward. The black men. The black men to go to the White House. As if black people ain't been at the White House 100,000 times. I was at the White House this weekend. What the are you talking about? At the White House with Donald Trump. I was talking to Donald Trump, told him happy birthday. The black man, the species, has never gone to the White House. Man, we took 400 black conservatives to the White House in 2018 and 2019. They have Black History Month at the White House every single year during Trump's administration. And I've gone almost every single time. Shut your silly self up. Whoopee cushion. I call her whoopee cushion. Whoopee cushion. Let her finish.
To stand in our house and remind all of those people, as we try to remind
the Vice President,
that when you try to destroy one part of history, you're destroying all of our histories. And they, as champions, not only as amazing basketball players, but as people who were down and came back up, this is what this looks like.
Stop. Yeah. People that are buried in Arlington Cemetery, that's they were down and these are players get paid millions of dollars to play basketball, and some of them didn't get in the game. Everybody don't play that game. There's only a few stars. They get paid $1 million, millions. They was persevering, and they were down and out. And they need to go to the White House and show the president. These players making more money than everybody working in the White House. There's not a single person making more money than these NBA players. Not a single person. Even President Trump's salary at the White House ain't nothing. They making more than everybody in the White House. These dudes are top 1% of 1% earners in the United States of America. And they act like, and these dumb Negroids are acting like black people are downtrodden. They acting like we back in the 30s or something, where black people just barely make it in the sports. Barely. They don't get to ride on the same bus as the white people. We passed that. Roll the clip. What about the white guys? Is there some white guys on the team? Let's look at the roster. They got white people on that team? Because I know the owner is white. And the coach is white. They got white players on the team. Oh, black. These same people that push for equity and inclusion, they don't mind that the whole team is black. That's not a representation of the people that watch the sport, is it? It's not a representation of the United States of America, is it? They got one white point guard. He may not be white. He may be mixed. Who you talking about? Brunson? I need to see a picture of him. He white? She should be ashamed of herself. I want all the black people to go in the White House. What about the white boy? Oh, he don't count. Okay, you racist, sorry son of a gun. All right. Let's see. He ain't a starter, though. No, because Brunson is the starter, right? Ain't he the point guard? Y'all know I should be cold at basketball. Let me quit lying. I was like Dennis Rodman when I played basketball. I was a 5'11" Dennis Rodman. Now I'm much bigger now, but when I quit playing basketball, when I fouled out of every game I was in, I realized this is not the sport for me. Because you're not finna make a layup on me. It ain't happening. I won all the tip balls, and I couldn't dribble with my left, but I got all the rebounds. I hustled harder than everybody, and I fouled out every game. And I said, maybe, just maybe, I want to play a real man sport. So I started playing football. I'm just kidding with y'all, kind of. All right, I think is that all the views clips? We got one more clip. What we got, Grant? A little bit left on this clip? Oh, okay, yeah, let's play it.
This is what this looks like. So I want them to go. If only so the kids know that nobody can keep you down if you are rising up. That's what I want.
I remain very...
You want the black kids to know? You don't want the white kids, you just want the black kids to know. Nobody can keep you down when you're rising up. These people so stupid, it's crazy to me, man. I can't even breathe, they so stupid. I can't breathe. Let me just say this for y'all, man. Look, we live in the greatest country on planet Earth. If you work hard, you believe in yourself, you treat people with dignity and kindness, you have integrity, you will become whatever you put your efforts behind in this country. That color stuff is stupid, bruh. Nobody care no more. Y'all quit lying to people. Nobody care. Only ignorant folks still thinking about being black. Like I just said, man, I was at the White House with Donald Trump and them. Zuckerberg was there, rubbing elbows with all these people. Not one person cared about me being black. I don't even think about it. Nobody thinking about that. Only broke, stupid people think like that. If you stupid or broke, you still talking about color. I had a guy, I got 4 minutes left. I had a guy, he wrote a comment on Instagram, and he was saying, the biggest threat in the room is a black man with confidence. What? And I wrote on there, only broke people talk like this. I ain't at the White House being like, I'm a black man with confidence. What are you talking about, dude? Ain't nobody a biggest threat in the room. We all having a good time. Everybody joking and having a good time, rubbing elbows, taking pictures. I gotta position myself to be a black man. I have learned this, man. I've been around, I've been down here and I've been up here. I want to be up here. In societies and groups of people and money. When you down here, that's all low vibration, ignorant, broke, hopeless victim folk do is talk about race and racism and all of that stuff. When you start going up here, you start realizing, oh, it's about character. It's about being a good person. It's about, are you a normal person can keep a conversation going? And when you get up here, it's about green. No color but green. Now, I don't need to be up here, but I'm saying, like, when the more you get, the more successful you get. When I talked to Zuckerberg when we were there, I was a brief conversation with Zuckerberg. Ain't nobody talking about race and stuff. Zuckerberg ain't look at me and be like, oh, he black. I can't take a picture with that guy. It was black people in there. It was 3 of us, but we were in there. You know, and nobody cares. Nobody cares, bro. I hire people on this job all the time. You work for me all the time. I ain't thought twice about nobody's color. Are you good at what you do or you suck, bro? That's it. That's all it is. Because your color ain't gonna make me no money. Your color ain't gonna keep the lights on in this place. Your color ain't gonna give you opportunities. Your character is, or will. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I didn't talk long enough. Wait till tomorrow. It's gonna get crazier. I love you guys. Go get you one of these shirts at tatumstore.com, tatumstore.com. And for all the members, y'all hang tight. I'll see y'all on Post Show Clarity.